It's your captain for all things creative coming at you with the Love is Blind UK. I guess season one. I don't know if they'll do this again, but episode 1 through 3 review slash reaction. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're returning, we get into a lot of things. So thank you for rocking with us. If you are American, please make sure you register to vote and then get out and vote. And if you're from across the pond, I've been seeing some news stories, and I don't know exactly what's going on there with the unrest, but I'm sending prayers to everybody that need it. And yeah, let's just get into this review while I got a little time. The baby's asleep, so I can get it in. So I'm just gonna talk about the big things that stuck out to me. There's some little details that might be missing, little storylines that are left unwrapped up. I only got to see up to episode 3, so when I watch episode 4, I'll do a review of that and whatever I missed, because I'll try to watch everything again. But this is what stuck out to me so far from episode 1 to 3, and from the Meet the Cast video that's on Netflix YouTube channel, and I'll post a link to that there. All right. So, Love is Blind is back, but this time in the UK, and it's based on the same original one in America. You got all these people that are supposed to date one another in these pods where they don't, do anything but talk for a couple days, and then if they fall in love with somebody just by talking to them, they're supposed to get engaged, right? And they meet for the first time in the honeymoon, then they have a couple of weeks to live together, then they have to decide if they're going to really say I do at the altar or not, right? And the hosts, they're not Nick and Vanessa like in the US version, but it's the host of Celebrity Big Brother and her husband. I really don't remember her name right now, but I used to watch Celebrity Big Brother in America, especially when Tamar won that one. And I did watch one season of Celebrity Big Brother UK. That was when New York and Gemma was on, and New York roasted Gemma for filth. So I'm only official with that season because it was hilarious. And I do watch Toey the Only Way is Essex, and I spent a little time in the UK, so I felt like I could review this series. Some other countries that they have, like I watched Brazil and Sweden. I'm not that familiar with the culture, so I didn't really feel comfortable reviewing that, but I feel like I know enough about the UK and been there enough that I could throw my hat in, and see if I get some of the nuances. But if I miss anything, please put it in the comments, and let's get into what's going on. So the first person that stood out to me was Bobby. Um, he works on cruise ships, I guess, as a luxury shopping guide. And basically, I remember from his Meet the Cast video, he said he wanted respect, loyalty, and trust, but he also wants magic and excitement. But I felt like whoever he gonna choose needs to be super understanding and loyal, because how you away so many months at sea but then expecting to find a wife. I don't know if he's gonna change career, but I was side-eyeing him a little bit, but he's easy on the eyes, so we'll see. The next person that stood out to me for good reason was Freddie, the funeral director, and he just seemed like a really sweet person, and I felt like he hit it off really well with Catherine. So I just felt like from the beginning, Freddie and Catherine were gonna get along because he was a good guy, and she seemed to, match his vibe. Catherine is a dental nurse, and part of what got them to vibe was their love of going to the gym, and they both are gym nuts who go twice a day, which is dedication. Since on a good week, I could make it once a day, only after work when I forced myself. But that's neither here nor there, because not only, did they have the gym stuff in common, but you could tell that, they had a cute rapport that wasn't just like lust, which is what I felt that she had for Ollie, who we'll talk about now. Ollie, he's a software sales guy, and he said that his lookalike is Craig David, and I kind of saw it, right? But it was funny that they even mentioned Craig David because one of my sisters really really loved Craig David. They sang that song with the days of the week. It was like I met the girl on Monday, took her for a drink on Tuesday. And that song's alright, but my favorite Craig David song is Fill Me In. Let me know what's up, right? Because our music between the UK and the US, definitely meshes, and we be hopping all back and forth across the pond sharing music. So I just thought it was funny to shout out to Craig David because he did have some of us Americans even in a chokehold. But I don't see the resemblance, and I actually think Ali has like a more bigger macho build than Craig David, but that's neither here nor there. I think people need to stop comparing themselves to celebrities because it's a losing game, right? But in terms of his voice, I think Catherine was attracted to the swag that she felt through his voice, and they just seem to have like surface level lusty conversations, whereas the funeral director and Catherine did seem to have a little more, you know, level headed connection, not just, based on the heart pumping and the lust. But when it came to Ali, I felt like he vibed better with Demi, who was a boxer. Demi officially is a safeguarding and attendance manager, but her and Ali, or Craig David Jr., was vibing over the boxing and other things, and I feel like they match each other energy. So I think they're a better match than Ali and Catherine, even though, Ali has both women on his radar, and both women claims to be friends, so they got this whole frenemy dynamic that's bound to set up because, they're both trying to get the same guy, right? So while Catherine and Demi are the rivals, the villain for me from episode 1 has got to be Sam. Sam is a product design manager, and straight out the gate, he talked about how he, was a little insecure, so he got a nose job. So he's one of the few men that I've heard of doing that. I know men do get, plastic surgery, but just the fact that he's willing to admit it, because we've been talking about BBL Drizzy for a while here in the States, but he would never admit to that. But just the fact that Sam was so open about the plastic surgery gives him some points, but to me it was a little flag that he's very much concerned with looks and being a pretty boy, because a lot of men more so does the body stuff, like Drake with the ab etching, and Charles did the ab etching, look like a Ninja Turtle. I've heard calf implants are popular for men too, and there's this surgery where they break their bones to get taller. Those are the type of surgeries that I associate more with men. But the nose job, to me, that's a little red flag for vanity. And he does talk about, loneliness and feeling like Peter Pan and all the immature kid vibes, and, not getting over being bullied about looks, to me, definitely stands out with him. But instead of, using it to be humble, he's kind of turned into a human peacock. Every time he's in the scene, I feel like he's peacocking. He's bragging about, his looks, even though some of them are bought. And he admits to like thirst trapping on IG. And he made some comment too about like nice guys finishing last. So I feel like he's one of the people that studied the pickup artists and probably like negs women, and does all the cheesy, corny, bad advice, to get women. I just don't feel like he's authentically himself, and he doesn't have the self-esteem to really like himself and be good to himself, much less be good to other women. So I feel like he's like an unintentional villain. He's not as bad as some of the other Love is Blind villains we see, but he's still got the makings to do some diabolical things because of his low self-esteem. And Jasmine clocked, his peacocking. Jasmine is a mental health nurse, and I think her expertise, made her ask him that question about why his IG don't match, you know? So yeah, shout out to Jasmine for clocking Sam's peacocking and just disingenuousness, because, you know, why are you thirst trapping yourself on IG if you are supposedly, you know, a good guy and family man? It's like, put the image out that you want people to portray of you. But, you know, if you're putting out a image that you know people are getting confused about, why not stop? But he can't help himself. He's gonna peacock and, you know, show off because that's who he is, a show off. And, you know, a human peacock. But he's saying no, he's a real nice guy. People that, you know, think he's about looks get it wrong, but no, you are about looks, you know. So shout out to Jasmine for pressing him and clocking Sam. And I'm not sure if Sam is there for any of the women or if he's there just for his close up with those cameras. But somehow from episode 1 he still managed to make connections with Jasmine and Nicole, who we'll talk about next. Nicole is a corporate girly and beauty. She does brand and marketing stuff. And she was married before, and I thought she was stunning, and she hit it off with Sam for some reason. And also Benaya. Now Benaya is a 33-year-old structural landscaper, and I mentioned his age because he's the same age as Jesus was when Jesus, you know, went up to glory. And he's seated at the right hand, you know, but he got Jesus hair, everything. And this guy, he kind of lived kind of like Jesus too, just going around from town to town, from pillar to post. And he doesn't have a home. So I don't know if it's right to call him homeless. Let's say he's unhoused. And he does give good vibes. Like, I feel like he's definitely like a spiritual, esoteric, you know, kind of guy. But the point is, if you're trying to do a marriage show, most people, when they want to get married, they want stability, especially if they're gonna, you know, have relations and know one another biblically and bring kids into the world. You want a home to put the kids in, and you want like a house with your spouse. So he was always given the vibe like he's not necessarily ready to settle down. He likes his nomad life. Part of it, I think, was because of his past, you know, because he didn't have such a great past. But he said now he's at peace with his past. So he thinks he's ready to move forward in love. But it's like, you got to put your money where your mouth is. If you think you're ready to, you know, be more stable, why not live a little bit more stable life first before going on a dating show? So I felt like, even though Nicole was entertaining Benaya and saying, you know, his nomad life was cool, I think she was admiring his, you know, like bravery and free spiritedness because she's, you know, chained to a desk with the corporate lifestyle that she has. So she probably thinks that Benaya's life would be fun. But the reason why she's entertaining Sam as well is because she knows that she needs stability for her and her kids too. So I think if we could combine Sam and Benaya, like, you know how like Dragon Ball Z they used to do like fusions. If they did a fusion where there was a man that had Sam's, you know, stability and kind of normalness, even though Sam kind of skews to like the superficial levels of normal, because like I guess he wants the same nose and same face as everybody too, but he lives like a more normal lifestyle. And if you could fuse that with Benaya's free spiritedness and spirituality, that would be the perfect guy. But unfortunately, the perfect guy, I don't think for Nicole is there. She got like half a man in both of them, kind of, because there's like parts of both of them that she likes, which is why she's torn. Person that stood out for me from just episode 1, Priscilla, is Sabrina. And she really opened up about, you know, her grandmother dying and all kinds of things. She's a marketing and communications director, and she didn't seem like she was getting caught up in, you know, the emotions and the hype like a lot of people on Love Is Blind do. But even though, you know, she's really like having the deep conversations, she did make a connection with Steven. Now, Steven is a gym owner, and he is like smitten with Sabrina. It's very adorable, these two. They're like my number one favorite couple right now. And he said he even loved her voice, and they had all these deep conversations. And Steven in his Meet the Cast video, he said he wants passion and drive, but also fun, and he hates rudeness. So it makes sense that he chose Sabrina, who's like super thoughtful, and they're both kind of, I think, equally yoked in terms of wanting to take the process seriously. So they're like being vulnerable with each other, but also, like having these deep, thoughtful conversations. So, like, I really, really like them too. Episode 1 ends with drama between the frenemies, Catherine and Demi, because she makes some comments about how she doesn't think that Demi and Ali would work out in the real world once she finds out that Demi is, interested in Ali. And like we said before, Catherine is interested in Ali, so is given that they have a rivalry. But, them two are claiming that they like each other and they're friends. But that little comment about, her not seeing them two working out, it's like, one, she doesn't know Ali that well to know his type or like what they would look like, because she doesn't know what Ali looks like, but she does know what Demi looks like. So it's given to me that Catherine thinks she looked better or is generally a better catch than Demi. And I just don't like that vibe because, as you can see, Demi, she has a little meat on her bones. She's healthy. And Catherine is, I guess more traditional Eurocentric, standards of beauty. So it's either, giving that she's looking down on Catherine, or maybe she does like Ali more than she's let on, because like I said, she does have the connection with Freddie. But I just don't like how she's kind of in a sneaky way running down on Demi, talking about she don't think that's gonna work with Ali. But I'm also saying Demi because she also has her the boys mind energy while smiling in Catherine's face. And then she shared in the end how she's usually a people pleaser, but now she's willing to do whatever it takes to get the guy. And she was tearing up, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what are all these tears for? It was giving that, that anime rival. People watch anime. There's like these girls that use passive aggressive tactics, to like backstab their friends and take their friends' boyfriends, and they want to save face and look nice, but really, if is that deep to her, I don't think she should be, going up under Catherine like that, So I'm siding both of them, and they're giving like very like anime Korean drama. Frenemy with this liking the same guy, right? So then episode 2, girl Jasmine does the right thing by rejecting Sam, and he's big hurt. But she wants to move on with Bobby because them two have a very good conversation. So shout out to Jasmine for being smart and ditching the superficial guy and going with Bobby. But I do worry about her and Bobby in the long run, because he does do the cruise job, and them cruise ships take away people for months. But for now, I think she made a good choice just for the pods. But I do wonder if she was thinking about the long term and like full life. So next is Ali's birthday, and the people on the guy's side celebrate him. And Catherine actually doesn't do nothing for him. But Demi really put in a lot of effort in celebrating him. She got him a card and balloons and whatnot. So Catherine was shook and said she's gonna step back. And I just think that Catherine saying she stepped back in that moment was a little bit of arrogance, because I think that Ali was also feeling Demi more, because Ali had pressed Catherine about going to clubs or something in like their last date, and he was saying that like, oh, a lot of pretentious people go to the club that she say. So I think that Catherine also peeped that Ali wasn't necessarily feeling her. So just the way she framed it, like, oh, I'll let you have it. It's like, no, he actually showed that he wasn't quite feeling you. He kept saying that he was talking to other people. So I'm also blurring episode 2 and 3 now because like I separated 1 and 2 in my notes, but then I didn't like separate 3 because I wasn't like taking too close to those because I wasn't sure if I was gonna review it. So forgive me if I blur episode 2 and 3, but no, I said from the beginning this is episode 1 to 3. But Jasmine had chose Bobby, right? So they meet, and he, just loves on her. She and him look like they're very physically attracted to one another because he kept saying she was stunning, and they were like hugging a lot, which was good because according to her intro video, Jasmine's love language is physical touch. So it was nice to see them meet. I think so far, again, for the pods, Jasmine chose correctly in choosing Bobby over Sam. But I want to see how they will work out with his job demands. So let's see what happens with them. Get back to Sam, the villain so far of this season of Love Is Blind UK. So Nicole dumped him real fast. Like I think she gave him like 30 seconds. I think she did the right way, right? Because he, again with his peacocking, he always comes in hot in the pods, telling the ladies what they want to hear, even though he's telling both of them, what they had wanted to hear and saying the right things. But Nicole didn't even let him run his mouth and waste his time. And so he was a little devastated. Like he came back to the guys. I think he threw himself on the floor, all kind of thing. And then though, he says the first thing that pissed people off, talking about beggars can't be choosers. So he's gonna go after Nicole. So I was like, oh, so Jasmine was your first choice, and Nicole is like the scraps that you gonna eat after all. Now that you can't get the main meal, like I don't like the way he's talking about Nicole. I hate that for her, right? And then he goes in hot with Nicole. He gives her a gift, which is like some necklace, I believe, that he said that brought him luck. And he's totally like love bombing her to make sure that she chooses him, even though in his heart he did kind of choose Jasmine. But again, I don't know if he was really there for any of the girls, so who knows if he even liked Jasmine that much. But she and him leave the date feeling good about it. Nicole more so than Sam, because then he says the next douchey comment to the guys where he's in the pods, and thank God Benaya found out what he said, because while he was bragging that it was a good date with Nicole, he starts looking sad and distressed, telling the guys how, oh, Nicole said something weird to me. And he's like, when I told her that I can't wait to run, and pick you up, she went and said, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to or you'll be able to, or something like that. So then when he said that, you could tell that he was worried about her being fat and heavy, right? And then his little shallow friends around him was like, no, 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 don't think that. Maybe she has a broken ankle. And I was like, are you kidding? You'd rather a broken ankle than exploring, the fact that the woman might, be a plus size woman. Like, why not press him and say, what's wrong if she, is a little plus size? Isn't this Love Is Blind? Didn't you sign up saying that you didn't care what your true love looked like? But instead, his trash friends tried to talk him out of his fear that she's too big to lift up. And but Nia is just listening like, oh hell no, I can't let Nicole go to this douchebag, right? So basically, he tries to save his comments by saying, well, I don't mind a little meat, but you know, what is she saying? That's weird, right? So he's calling her weird for saying that, or just like, his eyes are bulging and panicking. He's like trying to hide how upset he is about her possibly being plus size. And then Benaya talks to his friend. He's like, nah, I don't want to look like I'm, messing up another in the guy's game, but I'm snitching. So Benaya, even though he was kind of, on the fence, giving Nicole kind of esoteric answers about the future, talking about, well, I like you, I think, blah, blah. Who knows what the future holds, blah, blah, blah. Soon as he sees how douchey Sam is and him bragging about how well the date went, despite his little secret douchey thoughts, Benaya went full on like, I should be your boyfriend, cause he lying. It might seem like I'm hating. That's a Drew song, right? But he kind of, said that to Nicole. He, um, you know, goes into the pod and he's like, there's something you should know. And he's hesitating, and Nicole's like, tell me. And I thought he was going to tell Nicole exactly what Sam said, about not being able to pick her up. But he gonna go and sugarcoat it, which I think is his biggest mistake, and just said that Sam is not here for the right reasons or for genuine reasons. So then Nicole kind of just like sighs and get upset, and she talks to her girlfriends about it. And then Jasmine was there, and she's saying how Sam would tell her how she was the one and all the right things, and Jasmine was like, wait, shorty, Sam was saying the same thing to me. Even though I like Nicole, she frustrated me, because here you have Benaya telling you that Sam is not worth $2, right? And then you have Jasmine also corroborating that actually he's feeding you the same lines he fed me, right? That's two people telling you. Red flag, sister, red flag, double red flag. Nicole is still having doubts. And I just, I, I could not understand why Nicole was just like thinking about this still, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get to Catherine and Freddie. So Freddie and Catherine meet face to face, and he proposes because Catherine did the right choice by cutting things off with Ollie. I think she did want Ollie too, but again, Freddie was a nicer guy. Ollie put up a little interference, judging her for the little superficial clubs and circles she hang out in. So even though I'm not sure if Catherine is as into Freddie, Freddie was always into Catherine. Like I said, he's a great guy. And when they meet each other, I think they both liked what they saw. They were crying. They're like, oh my gosh, it's you. I like you. So I like them two for now, but my concern is that Freddie is more into Catherine. And I wonder if Catherine gonna spin the block with Ollie. But we shall see. But let's get back to the big drama again with Nicole and Sam. Episode 3 ends with Nicole walking to the room of the guy that she most cares about, right? So Sam and Benaya both are in the pods, and they both waiting for her. They're like, Nicole, hello, are you there, Nicole? So they both worried, their hearts beating out their chests. And I'm like, she better not go to Sam, because as much as, Benaya is unhoused, he has good intentions. And Sam, I could not forgive him for, just being so superficial and so lie. Like, I don't think he's there for anybody. But if he was there for anybody, it was Jasmine. But now he's just switched to Nicole, I think, just to make it to the next day so he could continue to be on TV. And again, she had gotten told by Jasmine that, Sam's full of ish. But what does she do? She goes straight to Sam and cries. Sam tells her, of course, everything she wants to hear. So them two get engaged. And then she goes and break it off with Benaya. And Benaya handles it sort of well. So you know that he's hurt. But, bro, I think he would have won if he had a house. I'm so for real. Because at the end of the day, Nicole, she's corporate. She's used to, having her things and her money. As much as, being a nomad is a fantasy, I think at the end of the day, Sam edged out just because he has a house. Say what you think in the comments. I'm mad at Nicole, but I kind of don't blame her. But no matter what, remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.